Let's talk about this Khalil piece that he brought up about you can hit whatever you want to hit as long as y'all about to get married.
That's dirty to start that off like that. That's dirty. That was a good clickbait, by the way. Like, Khalil said, you pretty much, it's open season.
Again, I gotta hear your take, brother.
All right, so let me put some context to what I'm saying. Here's what I always like to say. Let's go to what these rules are and why they're in place. They are guardrails, right, for mankind, for human beings. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not murder, thou shalt not commit adultery, etc. These are things because unfortunately we have people, right, that come to this planet and really would really justify why they would do those things. So first of all, God puts that there to give mankind, just like the speed limit, as we said before, right, to say, hey, 70 is the speed limit here. The cop ain't gonna stop you when you're doing 75, is he? Is he? Yeah or nay?
May not.
No. Now you're doing 85, you can book it, right? Yeah. You do 90, now you're getting a reckless driving. Yeah. But 70 is the speed limit. The cop ain't pulling you for doing 73. That speed limit. If you're trying to hit that's right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But, hey, but that's why you just should do the right thing and follow the commandments because you don't want to be caught. That's a different point, right? Yeah, right. Come on. But I'm just saying this. All I'm saying is this. All right.
Places, you know what I mean?
When it comes to that, there are plenty of people that God, these are soulmates. And I don't use that word lightly. Soulmates. God has designed them to do a work. He's made them to one before the foundations of the earth were laid. And they were engaging in sex prior to marriage. They went on to have beautiful kids. That line went on like God planned. We all could be recipients of that for all I know. I'm just being, let's just keep it in reality about why that is put in place. So for that individual who's practicing abstinence, that's great. But when you love that person that much and you do end up having sex, do you really think God is tallying that? That's all I'm saying. Do you get my point?
It's as in like keeping track of a sin record. Or-
yeah, exactly. Like I just don't think that God is offended like by that. In that case, that's what I'm saying.
Let me ask you.
However, let me be clear.
Go ahead.
But here's why we ought to practice that, because there's going to be people who can, if that pastor, I'm not sure what he says, so I don't even want to speak on it very soon, right? But any event, we don't go by those rules. Those rules that are put there for protection, that's going to be open season for everybody. Now everybody think they can date and have sex. And let's be real. Majority of relationships that people try and date don't end up being married, right? Yeah. So now you look back and you got a track record, right? You done let John, Paul, Tyrese, right? Barry, Brian, everybody done hit it, right? Because you didn't follow the laws or rules, that protection of God. Yeah. So I'm saying it's not a question to me, as usual, if it's wrong or right. I'm always going to say follow the Lord, but I'm making sure people, when we don't break that down, people don't understand why they should follow it. That's all I'm saying.
How did you start out?
With your wife? So let me tell you, I know I had a supernatural encounter with Christ. You know what I mean? That's what happened to me. Guess what? I was with my wife doing what the old people said, which is not in the word shacking.
Yeah.
And this is the product of what God decided to save. And I stopped having sex with my wife. Well, wasn't my wife then. I stopped having sex with her cold turkey. Holy Ghost filled, sanctified. I got Jesus on my side.
And I'm running for my life.
Yeah, right, running for my life. Yeah. I got Jesus on my, and I'm running for my life. I did that. So you speaking to somebody who actually did it. I literally did it for years, literally. I remember when we got married, I could count on one hand how many times we actually had sex. Because when we, she couldn't stay off the kid.
Yeah.
Like I blamed her.
Yeah.
Right? But I'm just saying, I'm saying this. I like to. So even with that, I'm just saying, and what you'll notice about me, I always want to break things down practically. And I want to get to the real meat and potatoes of it. Like, let's get to the mechanics of this situation. Why is God saying for us not to have sex before marriage? It's for protection. It's not to hold nobody from you. But if you wait, there's a lot of people watching, I'm sure, been through this. They probably so happy they ain't give it up to such and such. Man, we good. You know, I don't mind if, I ain't mad if I gave it up to you. I don't know about y'all.
I was mad when I lost my virginity.
I ain't mad. Yeah. Me, I ain't mad. I ain't mad. I ain't looking back at it like, man, I should have never, man, I should have gave you, But women typically
like that, bro. I'm gonna be honest.
That's good. That's good. That's a great place to be.
Never touch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No. I'm totally fine with you.
Okay, yeah.
Totally fine. I'm not knocking that because we all should have that.
Yeah.
But me, I kind of, I'm a giver.
How was it when you was with your wife? Did you abstain?
Yeah, did you abstain?
Did we abstain?
Yeah, come on. See, I already know the answer. I already know the answer. That's it, right? Yeah. I already know the answer. I already know the answer. You see what I'm saying? Hey, you see my point? There you go. Right. Yeah. TJ love that. When you see your wife, you can't. Come on. That's a little too much to ask. That's that man's wife.
No, I'm saying
that's a little too much to ask.
Abstain.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did we?
Let me make it.
Hey, now we back to Lord. I'm just gonna touch this one. Go ahead and paint me with the blood, because I'm about to touch this one time, right?
Holy Lord.
You get what I'm saying?
Clean, I'm a
and that's all I'm about. I'm all about. Let's talk about the truth of it.
This is my conviction, or whatever, however you want to put it. I believe that although she ended up being my wife, and we slept together beforehand, we still enter in a covenant in sin.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I believe. I believe we brought remnants of sin early on into the covenant, and then I believe it was how do you say it? Yeah, just some remnants of issues because of how we went about it.
Okay.
Not saying that but I don't know, because we didn't do it the other way. So I don't know, had we not have touched one another, if we would have still had to deal with the same situations.
And let me ask you this. And again, I don't want to change nobody's convictions. Yeah. And we all should strive to follow every law that God has put in place.
Facts.
They're there for a reason. But if God ordained that to be your wife, do you really think that God will hold that against you? That's my question. Especially being that, in my case, my wife in that time, we were purposely striving to. That's let's be clear, that's all it's about. Pressing towards the mark, by the way. We're just none of us cannot get to that standard. You're gonna keep trying, you're gonna burn yourself out, you'll be spinning your wheels. So I'm just saying, and again, I'm not knocking your convictions or anything, and I don't know deeply about what you're talking about, but what I will say is I just wouldn't agree from the perspective of what I believe about marriage. And that's me saying that God, that's your rib, like your rib. You get what I'm saying? His plan.
So
his whole plan.
So now, because I'm thinking about like what you're saying, and I'm wondering, does that scenario work with two versions differently than it works with people who have sexual pasts and do that? Because you're not necessarily cleansing your vessel or separating, like denouncing soul ties before you sleep with the woman who's eventually going to be your wife at the time. You know what I mean?
No. And again, I like that, because that's where I like to play and like the joke. But if somebody comes to me and asks me, I'm gonna say, hey, you should sustain from it. Especially, for we have children. All of us got children. Yeah, having conversations with my sons, etc. If here's the thing, when you having sex before marriage with different people that you ain't gonna live forever with, it's gonna make it challenging when you with your spouse, because now you have memory. And nothing worse than memory. Memory is a blessing. That's why we all know we exist. But memory, there you go. You get what I'm saying? Memory
is a
yes,
issue.
That's right.
In your marriage.
That's right.
For sure.
You got memory. Those memories stay. So I'm not knocking, or you're never going to have me, right? That's right. You're never going to have me. One of the worst things, we see it all the time. People out there looking right now, they know it. There's a lot of people. This isn't the case for me, but I'm telling you, there are a lot of people got married, men especially. And this is where the conversation really got to come through, because women do it too. But for men who, counts go up to the ceiling,
Facts.
right? Then again, you love your wife,
You love
but she ain't Jackie. That's a problem.
That's deep.
Amen. And so when God put these things in, so listen, when God put those rules in place, it's for a reason. Can you overcome that? Absolutely. You can. I'm gonna be honest with you. People do it every day. People overcome that.
They overcome it.
But
it's not beneficial.
That's not it.
It's just not beneficial.
There we go. What's good for the human soul?
Yeah.
Like I like to say, that's not good.
Yeah.
It's not good to go experience Keisha, Jackie, there you go. Who with it? They yes, they with it.
Keisha.
Yeah, that's right. Simon, and him and his wife, there was nothing left. There's nothing left. So again, the reason God put those rules in place, if God thought it was only before marriage, this is what I'm telling you. I believe if God thought you only was going to have sex with one or two people before marriage, is that necessary to put the rule in place then? Probably not. But when he looks and see mankind having sex with 100, 200, 300 people before you get married, being married almost becomes impossible for you as a man, unless God really come in there and clean house. You get what I'm saying? So it can be done, but for the average person, is that gonna be done? Probably not.
So if you found us on TikTok, welcome. If you found us on Instagram, welcome. If you found us on Facebook or even here on YouTube, thank you. If you haven't done this yet, and you know what I'm about to say, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Follow us on all social media platforms at We Are OneFaith on all social media platforms. When you subscribe to this channel, this YouTube channel, you'll get access to all of our content. Also, you can listen to us on your favorite podcast streaming platforms, on all platforms where you want to listen to your podcast. I don't know, but if you want to listen to your podcast on Amazon, you can find us on Amazon. All you have to do is search OneFaith Podcast and you'll find us there. With your support, we are able to spread the gospel. With your generosity, just playing. With your support, we are able to make sure that our content reaches the people that it needs the most. And if you've been blessed by what we've been doing with OneFaith, I just want to encourage you to share it with somebody else. The more people you share it with, the more it helps us to spread the gospel and also to make sure that we reach that person. So thank you for watching. Let's jump back into the conversation.
What advice would you give a man who's considering marriage before he enters into marriage? Because what you just said is almost impossible when you have so many experiences, or I forget how you was wording, but you said it could just be very challenging. So what advice would you give to a potential husband that's like, I really want to get married? What would you tell him to do pre-marriage?
Die to self. And that's an everyday choice. It's just that that's tough. It's that simple to me though. Because again, now blessed is the man that has the wife that, make Keisha look like whatever. You know what I'm saying? But for us, there is no other way. You have to die. What does the word say? You got to die. You have to die to yourself. That's an everyday thing. You got to carry
What's practical though?
Practicality is changing your routines to make sure you stay within the lines of having a successful day for that day that you had to die. Because tomorrow you're gonna have to get up and die again.
You're saying don't think too far ahead.
But you need
to really go date.
I'll share this with you. This is really good. I think this is excellent. One of my big sister gave me a call one time. This was years ago, and we like to have a lot of conversations and things of that sort. I come from a family like that, but my big sister called me. She's like, "Yo, Lil, how do you, how you remain faithful? How do you do X, Y, Z? Be a man of God. Do what I'm, living how I'm living. I got some options. You get what I'm saying? Like I don't have to be faithful. Nobody does, but I do have options, right? Yeah. And she said, "How do you do that, etc." Especially coming from my family where X, Y, and Z ain't married, da 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 da. And I remember I told her, and my sister's a writer, by the way, so these things are bigger for her.
Nice.
When she asking questions for people who really live in it.
Yeah.
But I never forget. I told her, I said, honestly, man, and that my answer will be the same today. And this is no offense to my wife, but I'm like, I can't think that far. Mm-hmm. I just can't think that far as a man. I don't want to play with nobody. I'm not your holy roller. I don't want to think that far. I'm in a human body. I'm in the flesh. I am a man. I'm the male species, right? I can't, you know, I don't get a bunch of joy and love, you know, with just one woman experiencing having that one woman experience. You know, I want to have a day where I have a little fun, you know, like, just a little, right? You get what I'm saying? I'm just speaking what every man knows, you know what I mean? And you can come, you know, in the comments and, I love my wife. I get that. You know, my fruit is there. You get what I'm saying? I understand all of that. But what I will say, and my answer to her and my answer today is I can't think to 50, 60, 70. You know, I can't do that. I take it one day at a time. And that's just marriage in general for me. You know what I mean? You know, because again, when we're talking about marriage and when we're talking about these issues, it's not a knock on the person you're married to. You know, my wife can't hold me accountable. She can't.
You got to hold yourself
accountable. I got to hold myself accountable. And I offend myself. So I know I'm going to offend you. Because I offend myself. God is my accountability.
Facts.
That's it. He's the only one that can keep me in check. My wife, beautiful as she is, she can't keep me.
Her beauty isn't keeping you.
No, she can't keep. Yeah, she's not keeping. No, no. Now, granted, I'm a man of intention, so I know I have consequences. Don't get it twisted.
For sure.
I just can't do what I want. You know. You know, my wife is very meek and humble by nature, but, you know, she's a little alligator behind the scenes. No, she really is, right? So I just can't do what I want. Don't get it twisted. But I don't lie to myself. And I think, you know, speaking to your point to men out there, what we deal with, right, as the male species, let's not demonize the brother who's struggling with being faithful, who's struggling because he still sees Tasha. He still sees Ebony and still sees their beauty. Like that's what I'm not in the market of doing that. And so my answer, just like, I don't know about you two, I would love to hear yours too. But for me, I just can't. I take it one day at a time. Okay. I want to be faithful though. Fair. How about that?
Yeah.
I want to be faithful.
So every day you're like, hey, like you're not constantly thinking, hey, I want to be faithful. But it's like in moments, you know, the moments when you're moving throughout your day where you can make a decision.
That's right.
That can destroy everything, or you can make a decision saying, nah, because the enemy's always suggesting.
Yeah, and it's not always on my mind either. Let me be clear. Like every day, you know, I'm not like, you know, chasing women is a distraction to me.
For sure.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Like that, when I look at my life and where I want to be in life, chasing women, that's a distraction.
I mean, you know? It'll destroy. It'll set you back.
Yeah, I just
it'll set you back.
You know, I really just that's not, you know, I enjoy nature. I'm gonna be real with you. Don't let me get showing y'all how weird I am. You know what I mean?
It's cool.
Like, I'm gonna be real with you. It's just chasing women is such a distraction to me.
Facts.
If that's your thing, that's your thing. Taking God out of it. But for me, you know, I take joy in different things. You know what I mean? A woman, an end doll, you know what I mean? A woman with a round bum is nice, but I'm more into my iguanas at the end of the day. You know, like I'm just being, that's me though. You get what I'm saying? I'm just being real. Like that's just me. I enjoy my children. You know what I mean? I enjoy my friends. I enjoy, you know, traveling. I enjoy jumping out of planes. It's so much more to me to life than just, you know, sexual sex. You know what I mean? Because honestly, you know, that's what it is for most people, most situations out there outside of the woman or women that you love. You know, so I hope that gives an answer.
Because how old are you? You 40, right?
Yeah.
So let's go 20 years ago.
Right.
Did you still have that same mindset?
You know, obviously people on the internet don't know me personally, but everybody in my community, my friends, they know they can contest to this. They can contest to this, literally. My wife know my friends. I love people, male or female, doesn't matter to me. This is just me. This is me. Prior to my knowledge of Christ, that's what we know is really you, right? Mm-hmm. I love males and females. I've had best friends like, literally, it's nothing for me I can leave right now and go to some of my female friends' house, and I've never crossed the line with them. That's a fact. So my point in to answer your question, I've never been that over-sexually guy in my life. That's just never been my thing. I'm going to be real with you.
So it's different.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like the fruit is there. I mean, I married my 8th grade girlfriend.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, and I had one other girlfriend in between time. You know, like I don't have that much. I don't have too much experience here. You know what I mean? The fruit. You could look at my life. I'm just speaking about what fruit. God said, just judge. They said, don't worry about what Khalil's saying. Judge that tree by the fruit it's bearing. And when you look at my life, you'll be able to see this. So I just never been we had that conversation off record. I'm gonna be real with you. I've never been an over sexually dude. I just haven't.
Okay.
I've never been that guy that just had to smash every good looking thing he sees. I gotta have more of a mental, spiritual connection. Now I can say spiritual, but I gotta be more so on that wave with you.
Gotcha.
You know, like I'm really like that guy talking about having sex before like relationship and marriage. I'm truly that guy that for a relationship. Yeah. Like if you're gonna be my girl, I really do got to be your friend first.
Yeah.
That's how I'm set up. My mind is set up like that. I really gotta rock with you. I gotta like you gotta be dope. You gotta be cool. I gotta like being around you. Yeah. And I'm not knocking it, but a lot of guys ain't like that.
Yeah, I'm not like that. But go. Yeah, I wasn't like that.
Yeah, so
wasn't.
Yeah, let me hear yours.
Yeah. So I didn't have a lot of girlfriends, but I definitely had a lot of women, and that just stems from childhood stuff. You know what I mean? Sexual, just not knowing who I was. My dad wasn't in the picture like that. So a lot of young men don't know what it's like to be a man. You know what I mean? If you're growing up in a house, and there was no other older brother in the house with me. So older sister, younger sister, me. And my mom, I don't know really what it looks like to see male character in almost any form outside of just in the streets or on TV or at this gathering or uncle, whatever. You know what I mean? So I'm getting these, as a kid, getting quick pictures like, oh, do I like that? I don't think I like that. Do I like that? I don't really like that. So not having conversation about, hey, how do you, feelings as a boy, whatever, you're attracted to women, like this is what it, you know what I mean? None of those conversations. So I said earlier, when I lost my virginity, I was like, oh, what was the point of that? You know what I'm saying? That was pointless. Like that sucked. And then from there, it wasn't like I was just hitting anything right away. It didn't happen like that. Then I had a child as a teen.
That's right.
Started from there. But you can see, I could see it in my life how the teeth of like lust and sexual sin sunk its teeth in very deep. You get what I'm saying? Like for years I would masturbate for years. Like a lot of men, they'll say like, and I don't know what your story, right? But I know men is like, oh, I ain't been with a lot of women, but they meet a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah. So to your point, a lot of people, that was introduced to me like every other boy. That's a young, people struggle with that, but that's never been one of my struggles.
Porn is like a thing.
Yeah, that was one of my struggles. That's what I'm saying. Like, so
that's great. So like,
and I'm not listen, I'm not knocking that if that is. I'm just saying, I'm just being honest. Like, I never, and it's funny, but we really had this convo. Yeah. I truly never been I never been a whacker. Like, right?
I definitely was a whacker.
Yeah. Right. But it ain't nothing wrong with that at all.
It is something wrong with it.
Oh, okay.
But pornography was never my thing, right? Which is weird because I'm a creator. I can create my behind off.
Yeah, that's right.
So in my mind,
right,
bro.
Okay,
correct.
Well, we talked about this on a podcast concerning Puffy.
Okay,
and I was telling him, I'm like, Puffy got so into sexual immorality that he was, basically watching live porn. But see, me, and I said this about your situation in the mind.
His own movies.
Yeah, exactly. But I was saying, I'm gonna go get involved. That's the problem with me. Okay. So like you said you can get into your head. I'm like, I kind of can comprehend that versus just like, flicking the, you know what I mean? Or what have you, because we were saying with Puffy, like, for me, I don't think I believe I'll go get involved. I don't think I can go sit there. I'd much rather go.
Let me create this scene. That's what you like. Let me just create this.
Saying, I never, I ain't had no Puffy situation. Nobody ever, But if it was, yeah. But I guess for me, even with Puffy, like, I'm just be honest, like, I wouldn't get pleasure watching another man tag another woman in front of me.
That wouldn't do it for me.
I prefer to be.
I think that's probably why
I prefer to be.
Porn didn't work for me. Too,
I prefer to be one on me and that person.
Yeah.
Like I tell a guy, all right, enough is enough. You,
Right,
I want it. It's my turn. Yes.
Like before, like I wouldn't even want somebody that has been with like.
I'm that. Yeah. Like I'm not even.
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
I don't want to touch you now.
That's there you go.
Yeah.
So we rocking. Yeah. So my point.
Maybe that's why.
Yeah.
So, but again, stronghold with masturbation. I remember when I finally stopped one day, because the church I used to go to, a pastor was preaching, basically was talking about like how you're not just masturbating, you're having sex with a spirit, right? It's not just as simple as you getting your nut off. Like you're having sex with a spirit. And that was an eye opener for me. That was like, oh dang, this is like more dark than I even thought it was, right? And so for me, I don't know how, but just one day I was like, Lord, yeah, I'm off of that. Like I don't want to do that no more. Right, and I've been able to not. Even when I talk to different guys, they're like, "So Drew, how you don't cheat? You don't cheat on your wife? You don't masturbate? Like, cause a lot of husbands that masturbate still.
No, for sure. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, and so my thought process is that, well, the Lord had to really redeem my sexual appetite.
That's right. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? He really had to redeem my sexual appetite. Yeah. That is like, I don't need to sleep with my wife and masturbate, or the days we don't sleep, because you're not always gonna have sex. Like it's just not. I mean, I don't know how it just ain't like that. We ain't just always getting at it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So in those moments when we're not getting at it, don't mean I need to go. I get the permission to go satisfy myself. So I'm about to ask you, but before I go there, my advice to men would be to really try to submit your sexual appetite before marriage, whatever your vices are, whatever your things are. Right, because I there's a guy or a couple guys who stand on a hill of I was a virgin before I got married. They stand on that hill.
That's a blessing,
but that don't mean
you still got things you got to do.
Correct. That don't mean you wasn't satisfied.
Could you imagine
yourself.
though? Because now here's the thing. There's pros and cons to everything.
Yeah, it is.
Let's be real.
Yeah, go ahead.
See, we don't like the truth.
No, talk the truth.
For some reason, we like to act like.
But I only brought that up because people stand on that hill like they never satisfied
I'm just saying. But let's just be real.
Yeah.
Once you open the door to sex, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
So whether you wait till after marriage or before, it's gonna be a struggle. So even if you wait till your wife, you do get the blessing. Your wife can really remain that chick concerning your pleasures. But temptation is still. Thank you, because you're
they was talking. I think I was watching comedy or something.
That's right. Yeah. Like, so that's a blessing, right? Yeah. But that doesn't mean you. Now that you know how that is, you like. You still. I mean, if that was my case, I know once the door got open. Once the door got open, I'm like. Yeah, I like that too. It's like, it's like, that's right. It's like pizza, pepperoni. I want to try the sausage. Yeah, matter of fact, I want the works. So, I mean, it's just, because again, we like to play as believers. Like, God saves your soul. He doesn't save your mind. He doesn't save your flesh. You're going to rock this thing out until you leave. You're going to wrestle with it, with your spirit, man. It's always a tug of war. Some days it's got me in a headlock. I have seasons of lust. I tell people that. I do. I know it. I know I'm used to it by now. Been walking with the Lord. I've been spiritually, my spirit man has been activated.
You know when the head of lust is trying to like.
Absolutely. When I know when I'm in the line, and now I'm looking at, the big tail too much. I'm like, it's a struggle today. Like, it's like, I'm like, it's a struggle. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, it's like, hey, I got a 3-second rule, but sometimes that.
Do you got a second rule?
Yeah,
you got a rule.
Do I got a rule?
Yeah,
I just don't look.
Yeah, that's good stuff. It's best stuff. Not to look at all,
for sure.
And let's just to be honest, most of the time I don't, and I don't even think about not looking. But I'm just saying to bring it to a comical level for us to understand. I always tell dudes, for a comical lesson, just to get you to understand, you should have a 3-second rule.
3 seconds.
Yeah, it's like 1, 2, 3, boom, because it's there. Hey, you got
what I do,
bro. Hey, it's like this. It's like,
I'm gonna be honest. What I do,
right?
What I do is, you can see somebody about to come.
Sure,
keep it up.
Yeah.
I just keep it up, and then I move, and then I move.
I do that too.
And it's and especially more when I see my son is with me, or like, you know what I'm saying, because they're learning habits.
That's another thing that I never been.
Okay.
So I've never been like, I'm gonna be real with you, like, I got my homeboys and everything. I ain't never been like, dang, that. That ain't never been me.
Great, man.
No, I mean,
Be mentor about this.
Nah, I'm just keeping it a buck.
You know what I mean?
Hey, God is my witness. I'm just being real. Like, I'm being honest.
He
like
being a boy very well.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Hey, you know they about to say, yeah, he gay. You already, come on, man. You know it's coming. Like, come on, man. Like, yo.
I wonder why.
I wonder why. Yeah.
You just say he wants sausage on
Here's what I think. And here's what I think. I'm gonna just be real with you.
Yeah.
I just don't over sexualize women. I never have.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I just don't look at women as objects. I just can't look at my wife as an object. I never have. I just don't look
at my wife as an object.
Yeah, to get what I'm saying? I just don't look at it. I'm just telling, maybe look, shout out to the Holy Spirit in me. Yeah. You know what I mean? Literally, I'm just not gonna be like, Dad. And granted, when it's that. But I just don't see the need for that extra stuff. That's just who I am. Like, I've never been, again, this is when I was a kid, when I was young. I never seen the girl was like, yo, she got some big, that's just not my character. That's all I'm saying. That's just not, I like it like everybody else. Yeah. I'm gonna have some fun. Like everybody else. I'm gonna have some fun. Stop, TJ. I'm gonna have some fun. So don't get it twisted. I'm gonna try that vehicle. Like don't get it twisted. But here's the thing. I'm just keeping it a buck, being around men and being around guys, having 3 big brothers, that's never been my thing. It's just never been my thing. You know what I mean? And maybe that's a personality type. I don't know. But I like who I like. Yeah. I love ain't nothing better than a bad woman. We all know it. You know what I mean? I love beauty. So, that's what God put it there for, right?
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be honest, I just don't I just not the type to over sexualize.
That's just never been you.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. So what do you got for the fellas that want to be married? They want to get married. They know they're dealing with lust.
I think it's healthy if all wives knew what their husband thing was.
Mm-hmm.
Because the reason why I say that is because that way, now you said something earlier, you said like your wife can't hold you accountable.
She can't.
Which is partly true and partly
I see
not.
what you're saying.
She has an accountability
right.
portion of my life, for sure.
Yeah. But she's not the ultimate.
No.
Yeah. She's not the ultimate keeper.
I would figure it out.
Yeah.
Let's just be clear. Yeah.
I get your point with that. Like, no, she's not the one to hold you accountable.
No. She can't do it. She can't do it to me. I'm just keeping it real. She knows that. She can't do it. Only God can make me who I am.
Right. For sure.
And I want to say this real quick. Mm-hmm. I tell my wife, and I've told people prior to Christ, if I did not know Jesus Christ, I believe I would be unfaithful to my wife. Mm-hmm. I would never dog my wife out. That's not in my heart. Mm-hmm. I can't do that. I can't dog a woman out. Right. It's not in my body. I'm going to be real with you. I just can't. I wouldn't let you dog your woman out. Mm-hmm. No Jesus, no church, no pastor, no minister, worldly men. Right. I'll say something like, yo, you got to stop dogging my girl out like that, yo. Mm-hmm. That's the type of man I am. I just can't do it because I just care for people's soul. Like, that's a soul. Yeah. Like, forget all of that. Like, forget. That's right. That's somebody. That's somebody's daughter. Yeah. I got a daughter. Yeah. That's somebody's daughter. I would tell you, like, bro, you can't be dogging out like, bro, you need to chill. Like, you be smashing chicks every weekend. Like, come on. Like, so I say this, and I told my wife, no, for sure. And that's wrong. Yeah. I'm just be real with you. That's a hard stop for me. So, but here's my thing. And again, this should get so many layers because again, for a man, we can do that and it's not personal and people don't like that, but it don't mean nothing. Yeah. So be clear. But for me, I always, and again, Carmen, she knows this. If it wasn't for the Lord, let's say I'm married and I'm go to God willing, both of us seeing 89, I'm going to have some different girls in between there. I'm clear of it. I'm clear of that. I know who I am.
He said it.
I know who I am. But what I will say is this: I never would dog. If I wouldn't just dog her out. I wouldn't. I would be careful what I
tastefully.
do. Yeah, just respectfully.
Yeah.
Amen. Yeah. So that's just reality. Yeah. And I don't. And again, as we know by now, I don't play the little games. I don't. And be mindful. Don't try this at home. I just told you. I married my 8th grade girlfriend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. We really were like a thing when I was in 8th grade. I've known this girl my whole life. I've known her since she was 12. She's known me since I was 14. What builds my house might tear yours down.
Yeah.
So sure. I'm not telling you what to do with yours.
Which I think is to TJ's point, the accountability piece of like. It sounded like you were saying like your wife It's more of accountability.
Yeah. Well,
for you.
it's both ways. Like,
Okay.
your wife should know what you like because, for one, she's your eyes. And
What you like meaning what? You have a. That's if you got a type, right?
That's if you got a type. Like, say for instance, like my type is my wife. Light skin, short, hair, like, nice body, all that. That's my type. So
straight up. That's my dog. He said, yeah, see, I'm over here like, you got the full description. Wait till he described that, I'm like, yeah, but
that's my wife.
She fit in the description, bro. Like, right. Yeah. That's right.
So
yeah.
knows, but at the same time, she holds me accountable in that way. So, like, even if I say something wild, it'd be like, yo, so and so said this, that, and third. Well, how did you think that? It was like, now she checked me, even though I hate it, but she's checking me because it's like, am I looking at that a little bit too longer than I should be? Or am I thinking about that a little bit too longer than I should have been? And it's not in a jealous way. It's just like, why, what is going on with that? That checks my heart, that checks my spirit, and that also checks me as a man, pastor, man of God, whatever. But it keeps me in line. Like, she keeps me in line in a lot of ways. And I hate it at times, but I get it because she's more so looking at the whole picture of me when I'm just looking at me in the mirror. And what I mean by that is, like, what I see for myself, I'm just thinking about what I see immediately, but she's looking at not just what she sees in the mirror when she looks at me, but who I can become in the future. Like, she's looking longevity.
From a different perspective, now this is how I am. This is how my father is. This is how my sisters are, right? My brother, like my family. See, if your wife were with me, like Carmen will tell you this if she was here, literally, I'm like at the coffee shop. We all at the coffee store, right? At the coffee shop, and it's a young lady, and she's attractive. I'm the type to get my coffee. One go, like, she was gorgeous, and just that's me. My wife knows that's me. Because that's just who I am. There's no biases for me,
Complimentary.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, there you go. Right.
You're not looking at them like, that's
like, oh, I tagged, like I'm ready to. Yeah, no.
He wasn't like,
no. I'm confident. Right. And again, I never been that way to even do that like that.
If you found us on TikTok, welcome. If you found us on Instagram, welcome. If you found us on Facebook or even here on YouTube, thank you. If you haven't done this yet, and you know what I'm about to say, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Follow us on all social media platforms at We Are OneFaith on all social media platforms. When you subscribe to this channel, this YouTube channel, you'll get access to all of our content. Also, you can listen to us on your favorite podcast streaming platforms, on all platforms where you want to listen to your podcast. I don't know. But if you want to listen to your podcast on Amazon, you can find us on Amazon. All you have to do is search OneFaith Podcast and you'll find us there. With your support, we are able to spread the gospel. With your generosity, just playing. With your support, we are able to make sure that our content reaches the people that it needs the most. And if you've been blessed by what we've been doing with OneFaith, I just want to encourage you to share it with somebody else. The more people you share it with, the more it helps us to spread the gospel and also to make sure that we reach that person. So thank you for watching. Let's jump back into the conversation.
You said, like, submit your sexual appetite and all those things before you get married. I think it's not before you get married, but it's before you date that individual that you know that you're going to be with long term. And the reason why I say that is because, like, me and my wife, it's obvious. Like, we have a son who's 13, and we've been married for 13 years. The math is
people want to do the math.
Yeah.
Right.
Do the math.
Yeah.
We're getting it in.
Yeah.
So it's obvious. Yeah, we knew each other, as the Bible says.
That's right.
Before we got married. And I would say that came with a lot of headaches because I think we talked about it on the podcast before, like comparison, competitions, all those things. When I say like comparison, competition, it's like you trying to compete with exes and whatnot and everything like that because you're like, well, if he can do it like this, I can do it like that and blah, blah, blah. And those things, because that's just how.
Yeah, that's ego and
That's women too. Women do the same thing.
Yeah.
But I think that for me personally, I think we talk about it, me and my wife talk about this all the time. We would have saved a lot of those headaches, a lot of the drama, the stuff that we went through early in our relationship prior to being married, had we had waited to have sex with just each other. That's say that.
Oh, that's a fact.
Yeah. Because, I told you, like, we talked beforehand, when I lost my virginity and all those things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I know when my wife lost hers. And the ironic thing is that we wish that we would just have been each other's first,
same,
only,
same,
and ever. Like,
because you see why now.
You understand.
Now you understand
fully.
it. You're like, I wish it was just for me. Like, yeah,
because marriage is such a commitment.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's such a commitment,
a lifelong one, a covenant.
Literally, like you're literally, like you said earlier, you're dying daily.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about this on one episode. We talk about biblical manhood. Where we were just talking about how we have to choose our wife each and every day.
That's right.
And I'm not saying that in the sense of, I'm just out here constantly falling into lust and temptation.
Yes,
Nah, it's not. I'm not thinking about. Yeah, exactly.
If I'm at a coffee shop and it's a fine woman that walked past me, like, I'm hitting one of your numbers. Like, I'm looking straight ahead, and if she comes in my view, I'm looking away.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, like Khalil's point, you see the beauty in who that person is and all those things. But
you're not blind.
Yeah. But when your heart start turning to, I wonder what that's like, and you start asking those questions.
Like Christ said, I tell you, haven't even thought about it in your head, you committed adultery, right?
Right. And that's sin.
You done took her home in your head. You done got in the car. Look, you bought her the coffee. You already at home.
Full blown conversation.
She didn't even walk out the door yet. Look, she already at your house. You done took off her clothes, all in your head. Look. Right. I like to be honest about what men go through.
Facts. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
We're talking about men
go through. It's not a knock. You're not a devil because you see a woman with a nice figure and you look.
And you're not a devil because you have to cast down the
That's right. That's right. Casting down every imagination that exalts itself against the knowledge of God. We're living out the word. You know what I mean? And so we bring it captive to the obedience
of Christ. Like,
but he said,
why does it saying you have to bring it obedient? Because your thoughts are not always obedient.
That's right. They don't line up.
Yeah.
Like,
it's not going to always line up.
It's not a knock.
Oh, the thought getting away from me.
Yeah.
I'm in the line. The thought getting away from me.
And so for the woman, or the male in that case, that think you can just make your wife blind to every male or female out there, that's delusion.
Yeah.
My wife sees my wife sees other attractive men.
It's a fact.
It's a fact. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I see other attractive women.
Idris.
That's
what I've heard.
Right? You get what I'm saying? Right. I'm sure that I think that's one of I think that's one of her ones. Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of their ones, I think. Right. That's my point. But you get what I'm saying?
I just had a different one.
Let
them know. Y'all know what we talking about.
Yeah, it's not. That was good because it's not a knock. You'd be surprised. Some men, they just think that. Yeah. Like, I'm just not, I'm not the one that, when your wife go out that door, she just might think I'm attractive. That is not a knock against you.
Right. Yeah.
When my wife leave that door, she just might think you're attractive. I think I would take your beard. I'm already, that's 1 point not. I want TJ Beard official. Yeah.
I don't got nothing. I mean,
you know what I mean? I got something.
I got a shit because ain't nothing happening.
My wife got excellent hair like TJ. They got a good quality. Me, the genetic that wasn't in there. But I'm just saying.
Some good beard, some stuff.
That's right.
I'll be like, dang.
So, I just think when we have these conversations, we have to bring that knowledge up front so that people can stop stressing out and letting the enemy play with their emotions.
Yeah.
Nobody's everything. Yeah. Nobody's happiness. Yeah. Nobody can be your peace. I'm still waiting. Don't think no woman, no man peace. No. But what you can do is fight for it, right? And you can strive for it. But when I look online, especially in our generation, and we see the social media stuff, and they want these, build-a-bear marriages, I'm like, that's not what marriage is. Like, marriage is gonna be a mirror.
You just chuckle, it's like, yeah, nah, that's it. That ain't it.
That ain't it.
Even the people you think is Gucci, and you have a real conversation with them, like, nah, this
mean, and everybody not for us. Everybody's not for you. And if God gave you a spouse, you have to trust them that spouse is for you. They're gonna show you you're wrong. You gotta be able to accept it. It may take time. That's the benefit of marriage. You have this time that you two can work things out with. That's the safety of it. That's the plan of it. Yeah. That you can't exit out quickly. That it forces you to stay in that union. 2, grow. That's what God put us together for. It's a little more deeper than the looks.
No,
I bring that up to say this. That's why looks are always going to be out there.
Yeah.
It's always going to be out there because other human beings are good looking. That's just it. It's not that deep. If you're a wife out there and
there's other people made in the image of God.
that's all it is.
Y'all wasn't the only
your spouse out there and they think other people attractive. It's not a knock against you.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
ugly people.
You know, I mean, they're pretty too. You know, to somebody, you know, everybody's pretty to somebody.
Yeah, that's what I always say.
Because beauty's truly subjective.
Yeah, it really is.
But right, but it's like we dealing with like a unrealistic society, and we wonder why like our numbers in marriage and relationships are down because people are so self-absorbed. That, like TJ said, there's men that think I want to be this woman, everything. Because now 9 out of 10 times you get together with somebody, your spouse has had somebody prior to you, you know. But now they're like, I want to be this. I'm gonna beat that. Now there's always gonna be another mountain. Let me be clear. Always.
She's not gonna live up.
Right.
Like for real. But
you know,
the thing is, and I like your point because it's true. Like you can't be all those things. You can only be who God created you.
That's it.
For that individual.
That's it.
And I think with marriage, like that's what it is. You have to choose your spouse daily. You have to die to yourself daily. Die to your flesh daily.
Right.
Not just in terms of sin and all those things, but really just in terms of
service.
Yeah.
How do you serve your mother?
Like, how do you love your wife? Yeah. Like you said earlier, like you was like, you know, women are affectionate, very affectionate. One of my wife's love languages, you know, physical touch and affection and all those things. I'm not the most affectionate person.
So you gotta really be intentional. Like, right.
That's right.
You gotta work.
Force that.
Yeah.
And even though I'm not saying like I have to force it like, like I don't
like, I get it. It's not like that,
it's just like I'm forcing it because it's like I know that's what she needs.
It serves her well. It pleases her.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
And if that's what she needs, then I will do whatever it takes to meet her need.
Yeah.
And that's and I say this about marriage all the time. That's why marriage and our relationship with Christ is so synonymous. And when you realize the importance of marriage and your relationship with God,
it's the perfect picture to
that's right.
That you have to die to your flesh daily.
Yeah, that's
to
what it
please
means.
God.
Yeah.
And it's the same picture.
That's right. He's being patient with me. Yeah. He told me to be patient with her.
Yep.
It's that simple
thing. And I think that when we look at marriage in that way, you know, you don't have to be all perfect and have it all figured out and all cleaned up. And I think a lot of people try to get to that place when it comes to marriage. They want to be perfect. They want everything to be right. You're not going to have everything right.
Yeah, that's not even realistic.
Like, honestly, if me and my wife had gotten married probably 2-3 years in when we first started dating, we probably would have divorced just because of just a lot of the headache and the craziness that we had went through.
Yeah, it takes a lot to level out that plane.
It do.
You know, and that's just truth.
Yeah, because we had to go through a lot of things, but we went through those things and it made us stronger. But it's the same with every person. Like that's why I feel like dating phases are very pivotal
and crucial.
For people who are seeking to get married. Like you have to date your spouse. You have to know who your spouse is. I'm not talking about knowing them like as far as like sexual, but just knowing them. Like, you know, what do they like?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I have to build the premise of friendship. Yeah, because that's what's gonna last. That's gonna be what sustains you
for sure.
5, 10, 15 years down the line.
Why marriages fail and are at a loss because people don't know how to be each other's friends.
That's right.
Like if you don't know how to cover your wife or the wife don't know how to cover your husband in a friendship, then how are you gonna cover them in a marriage?